Welcome back, everyone, to the Bubble and the 2013 Fresh and Furious Tournament. I am the Derby Nerd here, all alone in the Bubble for this showdown between the NEOFights and Crow City Rollergirls from Chatham, Ontario. NEOFights, of course, a mixed team of 7 different leagues from Northern Ontario. This is the FreshMeat version of the Nord team that ended up finishing second at Windsor's RDAC Eastern Championships this year. So again, this is a must-win game for both of these teams. This is the final game in the double elimination round. Right now, simultaneous to this, happening in Reeve Arena, the Dirty Farmers from Durham region are taking on the Hammer City Rollergirls out of Hamilton, Ontario. As I mentioned, both of these teams right now are 1-1. Crow City started things off with a big win over the Power Dames, 43-38. Power Dames, of course, representing mostly the Seaway Roller Derby girls out of Cornwall. Crow City followed up with a tough loss to Toronto Roller Derby's Divas, 138-11. And that's what got them to this must-win game. For the NEOFights, they had a similar road to this point. They lost their first game to the Area 705 Roller Derby girls, the Smooth Operators. They then came back with a huge win over Queens Court out of Buffalo, New York, 114-34. And that brings them here and now to this must-win game. Neo in white, Crow City in purple. Abstract Labrat jamming for Crow City, but your first lead jammer will go to NEOFights. Great start for them, but right behind the NEOFight jammer is Abstract Labat. That is Rebels Advocate, the jammer in white for the NEOFight. She picks up 1 point, calls it off. Abstract Labat in the purple there. Number 1408 has really turned some heads this tournament. What a breakout event for her. 1-0 after the opening jam. NEOFights take first blood. Winner of this game, of course, will continue in this tournament. The loser, unfortunately, will be done. But they can then go to the bar and get a beverage from our sponsor, Mill Street Brewers. Second jam now underway. 5-on-5 roller derby remains. Oh, and it looks like she did step out of the outside. 9-11 heading to the penalty box. Power jam, the first one of the game, goes to Crow City. Oh, and not only that, but the jammer misses the last line. Cinderella must skate a second lap to head to the penalty box. Of course, if there are a lot of fresh viewers, I know there are a lot of fresh teams, so I assume there are fresh viewers. There is a line of no return that skaters must stop at the penalty box before they get there. And if they go by it, they have to do a full other lap. And your penalties do not begin until you sit down in that chair. A little bit of a penalty parade right now. Box is full for the NEOFights. Jammer and 2 blockers in the box. Killer body on the power jam for Crow City, number 187 in the purple. She's through. 5 points picked up. Crow City putting on a heroic performance today. 7 skaters. They only had 7 eligible skaters for this tournament. And have already picked up a win. Looking for a second one here. Have a big lead, 10-1. Just over 2 minutes into this one. Killer body back around for another pass. Another 5 points. All of the NEOFights in the box are standing. The jammer and the 2 blockers. First out is Cinderella, the jammer. Approaching the back of the pack. Sneaks through on the inside. Nice first pass from Cinderella. Killer body, sorry. Killer body calls it off. What a pickup for Crow City on the second jam. 19-1 now is the lead. This next jam is going to be brought to you by Rumbling Rage Derby Shop. You can check them out online at www.rumblingragederbyshop.com. Scrappy start from Abstract Labat. She is through. Lead jammer for Crow City. What a performance for the team from Chatham. Jammer in white, the neophyte captain, also through the pack. That is number 77, Booty Boop, sorry. Booty Boop. Booty Boop coming around, just about to score, but called off by Abstract Labatt just in time. She picked up 4 points. Crow City increases their lead yet again. 23-1 now is the score. Just coming up to the 4-minute marks of this 20-minute bout here at the 2013 Fresh and Furious Tournament. Looking for a jammer star, the Crow City. Trying to make sure they have enough skaters on the track. Again, this is a very important tournament for these new teams and these new leagues, just to have an opportunity to get this competitive experience in, get a tournament at that, these must-win games. It's very important for these skaters to deal with this high-pressure situations at such an early stage in their development. Lead jammer here goes to the neophytes. That's number 73 in the white, Nellie McStung. If you watch Canuck Derby TV on a regular basis, you might recognize Nellie McStung from the recent Clam Slam that was also hosted here by Toronto Roller Derby and the GTA Rollergirls. Nellie McStung played in her first Clam Slam this year, and now she's picking up points for the neophytes. 5 points for Nellie McStung. Plays her roller derby for the greater Sudbury area Rollergirls. Power jam continues now for the neophytes as they try to fight their way back into this one. 4-on-4 in the pack. McStung fighting through the front wall, gets through. 5 points for Crow City. For the neophytes, coming back now 23-11 against Crow City. 12 points is the difference. Nellie McStung coming around for another pass. Good defensive position from Crow City if they can hold the wall. Offense moving in. Nice move by the pivot. Cinderella just disrupting things enough. Nellie McStung could do the rest. 5 points for Neo. Within 7. And very quickly, Nellie McStung coming up to the slow pack. Nice work by the neophyte pack, keeping things slow. And the jam comes to its conclusion. Nellie McStung calls it off just as the Crow City jammer stands, and it will be a power start. Oh, no, I guess it was 10 seconds. She made it through. Crow City will get to begin with the jammer, and no surprise, they're going with Abstract Labatt, number 1408. (23-16), it's a close one now. 6 minutes in to this must-win elimination game, the final double elimination game here in the bubble. And lead jammer goes to the neophytes, but Abstract Labatt also out. And she is going to push this neophyte jammer and try and force the call off. Once again, it's Rebels Advocate just ahead of Abstract Labatt and forced to call it off with lots of white points exposed at the back of that pack. Thanks for tuning in to Canuck Derby TV. We'd like to thank Monster Muffin. You should visit their website at monstermuffin.com. They're a big supporter of Canadian boutcasting and helping bring this presentation to you. It remains 5-on-5 roller derby. Both teams on the track. Cinderella jamming for the neophytes and fights through a 2-wall at the front. Strong jammer is Cinderella, and she is your lead jammer. And now Margaret Splatwood with some nice defense, dragging Rainbow Dragon all the way to the back, and nice one-on-one defense now for Margaret Splatwood. Rainbow Dragon having a hard time getting by this tough defensive wall. Ash whooping with some nice defense. All of the neophytes really just playing nice, conservative, solid, positional defense right now. And Cinderella has almost brought her team all the way back. She's picked up at least a point. And that means she'll get the 1 point for the ghost point. She's got all the way through. She'll pick up all 4. We have a lead change. 25 now, 23 for the neophytes, and she'll call it off. First lead change of this game, 8 minutes in. Again, we will stick here in the bubble for 2 more games. The 2 quarterfinal matchups before we shift. The whole tournament shifts to the Reeve Arena for the semifinals, the third place game and the championship game. Captain back out there for Jam, and she picks up lead jammer yet again. Booty Boop, the captain of the NEOFights, is your lead jammer. Strong performance from the strong skater, but Abstract Labatt, a name we've said a ton already today, making a huge impression here for Crow City, but she's got a lot of track to make up. Betty Boop fights through that back wall, gets all 4 points, calls it off. The NEOFights continue to build their lead, and you've got to start to wonder at some point, fatigue has got to set in for Crow City. They've got 7 skaters. Heroic, absolutely heroic performance by these skaters, led by on the bench by Greta Garbage, veteran skater. Should mention she is joined by Judy Gorland on the bench as well. But Greta Garbage spent many years playing in Tri-City, played for the Thunder, their WFDA travel team, who recently qualified for the Division II playoffs. Trying to lead her team through. I'm going to go back a little bit in history. This reminds me of a performance by Bell City, a team I'm not even sure if they still exist at all, but they came to the CWRDA Eastern Championships in 2000, was it 11? I believe 2011. It came with only 9 skaters, and as the tournament went on, they had some injuries, and eventually got to the point where they were just depleted of bodies. I believe WFDDA regulations state that you must have at least 6 able-bodied skaters to play the game, and we are playing WFDDA regulation. All right, back to get underway here. 3-on-3 in the packs. NEOFights with a slight edge, 29-23 over Crow City, who led for the first 7 minutes of this game. And it's Nellie McStung, number 73 in the white. She is your lead jammer. Rainbow Dragon again running into the tough pivot. Ash Whoopin, number 311 in the white, with some nice one-on-one defense now. A nice offensive block there from Wicked Pissa for Crow City, allowing her jammer to get through. Rainbow Dragon, though, has a lot of track to make up. Nellie McStung gets through, picks up for Pads. The NEOFights leads and calls it off. We are nearing the midway point of this double elimination game here at the 2013 Fresh and Furious Tournament. You're watching Canuck Derby TV, but this is being produced by Tord TV's Layer 9. A big thank you to Layer 9 for another excellent boutcast, working his tail off to provide you with this simultaneous feed. And we are off. And Abstract Labatt gets through and is your lead jammer. A big pickup of lead for Crow City, who have seen momentum grabbed away from them. Number 96 for the NEOFights, hustling to get back to the pack. Once again, Rebels Advocate has the enviable pleasure of skating against Abstract Labatt. And she was able to steal one just before Abstract Labatt called it off, so nice job. Game remains close. 7 points is the difference. 9 minutes remaining. Again, one of these teams, for them, their day will be done. The winners live to fight another bout. The jammer's released. Coming up on the inside is, the NEOFights jammer, but she takes a big hit to the inside. She is now fighting through a 3-wall in the back. It is Tenacious T trying to get through. She finally fights her way through. Excellent patience, excellent tenacity from Tenacious T. She is your lead jammer. And it has been quite a fight now for Killer Body. Can't get through that 2-wall at the front. Strong positional defense once again from the NEOFights, anchored by Nellie McStung, who's having an outstanding game. Finally, jammer gets by Nellie McStung, but Killer Body then taken to the outside hard from Cinderella. And what a set of blockers on the track right now for the NEOFights. A nice move by Nellie McStung will drag Killer Body all the way back, and you can see it's evident on their faces that the the strain of playing all these games with only 2 subs is just catching up to them. It's basically on and off, on and not off for Crow City. Oh, and the inside lane left wide open again. Another side of fatigue. Blockers losing their position a bit, unable to make that quick transition from offense to defense, and Killer Body just struggling now to get through that pack. What a game she's had, too. What a tournament. Finally able to get through. But the NEOFights reset very quickly for offense, and they will pick up the full 4. Yes, 4 given. Big jam for the NEOFights, who in the last 5 minutes have just taken over this game now, up 46-27. Crow City in the last 5 minutes only been able to get a couple points on the board, while the NEOFights starting to run away with it a bit here. What a great debut for Crow City. Little action right off of the start. And it looks like, I'm waiting for the call. Yes, Abstract Labatt off of that opening hit is going to the penalty box with a major forearm, which means Rebels Advocate this time doesn't have to jam against her. Instead, she gets a power jam. Rebels Advocate gets through, picks up 5 points. NEOFights now 51-27, 6.5 minutes remaining. Rebels Advocate quickly back around, 2 to beat, goes outside in, or inside out, and turns those blockers around, and she is through for 5 points. 4-2 pack advantage here, pivoted by Booty Boop. Nice offensive pick from Booty Boop, allowing Rebels Advocate to go 1-on-1. She wings that battle against Sterling Slammer for 5 more points. Rebels Advocate again makes a nice little move from the outside in. Nice juke to break through, pick up 5 points. Further increase this lead now, 66-27, 5:45 to go. Crow City fighting for their fresh and furious lives. Oh, and Rebels Advocate finally taken down on turn number 3 and forced to call it off just as Abstract Labatt leaves the penalty box. Another major pickup for the NEOFights. Increase their lead now, 70-27. 43 points is the difference. Huge hole. Penalty boxes are mostly cleared out. There is 1 Crow City blocker standing. 4-3 slight advantage on this start. Cinderella, the captain, jamming. But Abstract Labatt has the lead at the front. She's got a 2-all to beat. Coming from behind and just slipping through in front of her is Cinderella. She is your lead jammer. Oh! She took a hit there as she was trying to call it off. You will have to wait to see what happens 4 months later in that video. Okay, as you notice, we are back. Thank you very much, viewers of the 2013 Fresh and Furious Tournament, for your patience. Of course, skater safety is first and foremost in any event. We did have a skater hit her head quite hard. It is Cinderella from the NEOFights, for anyone watching from North Ontario. The good news is she is okay. She was moving, she was communicating very well, but it was a hard, dangerous fall, and the EMTs always take safety first, and we're extraordinarily precautious. She has been taken to hospital for a checkup just to make sure that she is all right. So that's the good news. The other good news is that Derby is back on, and we are back underway. If you're just tuning in from track 1 over in Reeve Arena, this is the bubble. This is the final of the double elimination games of this tournament. The winner of this one will move on to the quarterfinals. The loser will unfortunately have to head home. And things picked up right where they left off, and that's with the NEOFights getting lead, picking up 4 points and calling up. They are up 74-27 now. with just under 4 minutes remaining in this one. As I mentioned, this is the final of the double elimination games. The winner of this one moves on to the quarterfinals, where les Bûches await them in the Reeve Arena. Lead jammer once again goes to the NEOFights. It's Nellie McStrong, and she has just taken her time. And Abstract Labrat is the jammer, and I think both jammers may have scored. And Crow 3 stealing 3. Abstract Labrat got through and picked up points. 74-30, 44 points is the difference. 3 minutes remaining in this final double elimination game. It's all on the line. Nice blocking right there from the NEOFights, number 17, Booty Vicious. Oh, and a nice little juke at the front of the pack. Lead jammer goes to Rebels Advocate. The NEOFights now fighting for something a little more than just the game. Cinderella, one of their big, important skaters in this tournament so far, out of the tournament for the rest of the game. Rebels Advocate gets through, picks up a few points, 2 more points, and calls it off. The NEOFights increase their lead now, 2:20 remaining. So everything's a little bit behind now in the tournament, so just adjust your viewing schedules accordingly. It seems like we are now just about 20 minutes behind. We'll do our best. We'll tighten up the breaks between games to get things back on track for the semifinals, which were scheduled to start at 7. Right now, tentatively scheduled to go at about 7:20. Another lead jammer picked up for the NEOFights. That is number 10, Tenacious T. And it looks like with Abstract Labrat, or Labrat, I've been saying that very quickly all day. Abstract Labrat is heading to the penalty box. Power jam for the NEOFights. Labrat just rolls off the tongue. Tenacious T coming around to score now on this power jam. She just picked up 5, looking for 5 more. Comes through on the inside, hits that 3-wall. Or 4-wall, sorry, nice positioning, well set up, and a nice hit from the Crow City pivot. Oh, and Tenacious T heading to the penalty box. You can see she knew it as soon as she stepped onto the track. Just a momentarily mental error there. With under a minute left, and over a minute on the jam clock with no lead jammer in this jam, this will go the full 2 minutes, and it will also conclude this game. The NEOFights will head through to the 2013 Fresh and Furious quarterfinals. It's now just a matter of time. Abstract Labrat is off and makes a nice move. Nice little juke around the NEOFights wall. She gets through. It was her first pass, so no points picked up. Abstract Labrat. Oh, and a nice move again to break up the wall. Nice stop to stay in bounds. 5 points picked up for the Crow City Jammer. What a tournament for Abstract Labrat. And another nice little move on the outside. Did not look like there was space. But 5 seconds left. Time counts down. And it's over. Crow City, their tournament is done. The NEOFights with a big 81-41 victory here. And that means that they get to move on to the next round. So 85, sorry, is the final score. That will be the official final, 85-41. Again, a quick turnover here for the next games. They're seeing Crow City. What a tournament for them. 7 skaters, 3 games in the span of about 8 hours. Unbelievable performance by Crow City from Chatham. People certainly won't forget them coming out of this tournament. So that's going to do it for me here in the bubble. Thanks everyone again for your patience, and again, adjust your viewing schedules accordingly. About 20 minutes or so behind. We're going to try our best to get things caught up. You're watching the 2013 Fresh and Furious tournament here on Canuck Derby TV. Stay tuned.